Hello, I'm Zane Morrow, and here's my take on Her Smell, which was written and directed by Alex Ross Perry and stars Elisabeth Moss. So we'll start with the highlights. Number one, the cast and performances and the casting in the whole movie, which is a very interesting combination with all these different characters and different types. We got Elizabeth, and along with Elizabeth Moss's performance, she is outstanding and playing like someone who's like whacked out of their mind, which is both kind of intense, but all at the same time entertaining, and you just can't take your eyes off it. And especially when this whole movie is basically split into like 5 or so different time sections where it's all in real time. It's like a play in a way, and basically interacting with like Dan Stevenson's character, in which he does it. It's one of the finest performances I've seen from him, and it kind of has all these different parallels and and all these different complications, which I find very interesting and kept me intrigued the whole time. Another highlight was Alex Perry Ross's direction with the movie. It had like a very interesting style and kept a very continuous flow and pattern, and allows us to understand it and the plot, and keeps going forward, and all this different, and pushing all these actors to do these different like crazy things throughout the story. Like dealing with drug addicts or people that smoke too much or their whacked out behaviors, and just like going forward with all that, and a very interesting pattern, and along with like a very particular look, which really set in for the story, because it takes place in like the 90s, and having that film look, which is another, I guess the third praise would be a cinematography, which had like a very elegant look, and all these different framings that kept us like both very close to the characters and following them in these different patterns, and lighting things that really worked were like this whole rock and roll vibe. So those are some of the high points, and here are some of the low points. I'd say some things that will be problematic there are some scenes where it feels like it goes on a little too long, especially when it's both an advantage and disadvantage to having movies where they're all continuous scenes. It's chopped up into different sections. It's a strong advantage and disadvantage, because you feel like you have to like go continuous the entire time and just not jump cut forward. So that's kind of like causes some things, or you just feel like it can just cut out a little bit right there, then it just keeps going. It's kind of this movie did feature some of those thoughts, but it does like allow, but if you're patient, it actually ends up paying off. And the other note that would be both criticism and sometimes positive thing is that some of the tone in this movie, especially around the middle acts, with all like the whacked out behaviors and all the different drugs and like hunks and drinking, will kind of have like a weird mixed results for like general audiences. Like you'll have some people that might not think it's their vibe, or they won't like that vibe, but it does, even though the vibe suits this movie, but understanding from a general audience's perspective, it will feel very like either overdone or go too far at times. And so that's more of a warning. I won't explain why, because it's just like, I think that's spoilers territory. But overall, I would give it an 8 out of 10, because it is a very compelling watch. And Elisabeth Moss is outstanding as always, along with the other cast, and grounded story, which is definitely worth checking out. So that's it for today. Hey, and thank you for watching, and keep an eye out for my next video.